Welcome back to Endless Winter, and today we're checking out part 4 in Aquaman number 66. Now, so far in the storyline, we've been seeing each issue, we have a flashback sequence of the Viking Justice League going up against the Frost King. Now, the Viking Justice League include Black Adam, Swamp Thing, Hippolyta, and Viking Prince. So we've been seeing that, and that's actually developed more in this issue, but in present day, we have the Frost King. He's been unleashed again. Black Adam's trying to find a way to beat him once again, and we have all the Justice League coming. Well, actually, they're not coming together. They're actually on their own. Like, Flash has his own story, Superman had his own story, now we're coming to Aquaman. Now, what's going on in this Aquaman comic up to this point is we had Aquaman and Mera. They got married, guys. They're together now. They have a family. They have a child named Andy, and they're doing pretty good, right? But with this endless winter attacking the world, Atlantis is at risk. So they're gonna try to stop this, right? But yeah, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into this issue. We begin in the 10th century, Arctic Circle, Greenland. We see the Frost King. He's unleashing his power. He says, "You murdered my son, I'll take everything you hold dear. I'll unleash winter without end upon your worlds." He unleashes snow and ice monsters in this area. Now his clan, they flee. They're like, "I'm out. We're not dealing with this guy." And we got the Viking Justice League who have shown up to fight off against the Frost King. Now Black Adam, he tried to beat the Frost King, but he was hit through this building. We are scrack. Now he catches himself. He says, "Who is he who lay hands on me?" Now it's the Viking Justice League. They fight off against the Frost King, Viking Prince, Hippolyta, Black Adam, and the Swamp Thing. Now they keep fighting. Hippolyta says, "Help the elemental." We see Swamp Thing. He's in trouble. Viking Prince tries to fight back, but he's hit to the ground. Now Hippolyta tries to save him. She says, "John." Now Viking Prince gets up. He says, "I'm invulnerable, Hippolyta, my blessing and my bane. Odin will not let me ascend to Valhalla until I die a heroic death." And that was not it. Now we see the Frost King is tied around by Swamp Thing's vines. Now the Frost King says, "Everything dies in winter, including you." Now, that's the Swamp Thing. It's pretty much consumed by all this winter, all this snow, and the power of the Frost King. Swamp Thing says, "Hippolyta, John, Adam, please do what I could not. The world depends on you." Now Swamp Thing fades away. He dies. Viking Prince says, "He's surely gone." And Hippolyta shouts, "And so is any hope of winning this war." Now we go to present day in Amnesty Bay. Now we see Aquaman, Mera, and their child Andy. They're going through the water, right? Now Mera says, "You still owe me a honeymoon, Arthur." Now this is right after their wedding. Aquaman responds, "Saving the world doesn't count. At least Andy seems to be enjoying herself." Now Andy, she's just happy, right? They're going through this water. They make it to Atlantis. Aquaman says, "I never thought I'd see Atlantis besieged by ice like this, much less swarmed by ice creatures the Frost King spawned. We might be able to solve all of it if what I have in mind works, but we need to get those refugees safely inside the gates first." Thankfully, I called in some friends. We see all these ocean creatures, whales, sharks, they all come forth. Now Mera, she makes it in. She says, "Open the gates. Mera of Zebul, once your queen demands it." Now Aquaman says, "Get your people inside." Mera responds, "Quickly, while we hold back these creatures." All these people flee inside. Now we see the Sea Council, and we see this woman. She says, "Mera and Arthur return to Atlantis, the unmitigated hubris of it." Now, Mera shows up. "Whether I am its queen or not, Atlantis was once my kingdom, Reverend Mother Satya, and I'll defend it. Those refugees seem glad enough to see us." Now, the Reverend says, "You'll find no one bowing and scraping here, Mera. Those days are over." Now she continues to say, "You gave them up when you dissolved the monarchy. Atlantis does not forget." Now that's when Dr. Thanita says, "Some of us are pleased to see all three of you." Now Mera says, "Thank you, Dr. Thanita." And the Reverend responds, "This crisis is a surface matter." Now Mera says, "The endless winter threatens the whole world, the sea included. People are suffering above and below." And she continues to say, with Andy in her hands, "If the sea temperature drops further, the entire planet reaches a tipping point that may well be irreversible. I'm not letting that happen to the world my daughter will inherit. You might not want our help, Reverend Mother, but it was most certainly requested." Now, that's when Reverend Mother looks at Volko, and she says, "This was your doing, wasn't it, Volko?" And Volko says, "I did what I thought best for the very survival of Atlantis." Now, Aquaman says, "If everybody's done arguing, I have a plan, and I need Keeper of Monsters, Jurok Biz. With the council's permission, of course." Now we go to the Tower of Widowhood. We see Jurok Biz, and he's talking to Aquaman, Mera, Andy, and some of the warriors of Atlantis. Now he says, "I'm pleased you remember my stories, Arthur. They are our most fascinating, obscure species. Creatures formed from the molten hearts of the planet, fire trolls. The architects of Atlantis constructed the sea atop a labyrinth of tunnels and vents that lead to the Earth's core, where the trolls dwell." Now, that's when one of the warriors say, "Jurok Biz speaks truly. The sea's original schematics show the heme ducts that draw warmth from the depths." Now, Aquaman says, "Andy, please sit still." So we can still navigate the passages and access the abyss. They should be able to reach their domain. Now, one of the warriors respond, "Between the temperature and the environments, you're setting yourself up for trauma that even Dr. Thanita cannot fix." Now, Aquaman says, "I never said it was going to be pleasant, but if we can still enlist the aid of the fire trolls, Atlantis can be saved, and we'd have a powerful ally against the Frost King." That's when Jurok says, "There are capricious breed, Arthur. Fury in form and nature, almost mindless. Few have encountered them and survived, but you are determined to do this thing. You'll have my help." Now we see Jurok and Aquaman going through his tunnels. Jurok says, "You're certain about this?" Aquaman says, "I'd rather be on my honeymoon if that's what you're asking. But I have a duty to Atlantis and the Justice League, and I already talked my wife into it." Now, Jurok responds, "I expect Mera was not pleased." Aquaman says, "Duty calls to both of us. My mother's sense of duty split my family apart, and I know Mera's sense of duty is just as strong. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just fated to repeat the mistakes my parents made." Now, they come upon this big area, and that's when Jurok says, "Welcome to the Great Carterac, gateway to the abyss in the realm of the fire trolls. It will take both of us to open it, Arthur, and you'll be on your own from here. No one else could survive where you're going." And that's when Aquaman says, "Man the gate, Jurok, I'll be back." Aquaman goes into the abyss. You see fire come out, you see lava. He makes it in. Aquaman says, "I think I've arrived." And he looks back, he says, "And I think I'm not alone. You're a her." You see all these fire trolls that come forth. Now Aquaman gets out his trident. He says, "Abyss neglected to mention how big fire trolls are. I'm not here to fight you, but I'm not about to let myself be boiled alive." Aquaman screams. Then we hear this big whoosh, and we see a blast of the fire trolls. Aquaman says, "What's Mera?" We see Mera. She shows up and says to Aquaman, "Our honeymoon sucks so far, Arthur. I just want you to know that. I can protect you with a water spear, but I don't think either of us should linger very long in this forsaken furnace." Now Aquaman says, "Where's our daughter?" And Mera smiles and says, "Safe with Dr. Thanita. I won't choose between my husband and my child. Me being here means you have a better chance of getting back home. You being here means I have a better chance of getting back home too. We do this together like everything else. We're a family, just not a regular family." Now Aquaman says, "I've been worried we're both too much like my mother, but we'll always have each other. I love you, Mera." And Mera smiles, "I love you too. Now let's not get killed by fire trolls." Now Aquaman says, "I could try to reach out to them telepathically. They're confused, anger, and fear at having their realm invaded, and I think something like awe. You made quite an impression, Mera, and I think they're ready to serve you." Now we see Aquaman and Mera. They charge forth with all these fire trolls behind them. It's a really dope image of Aquaman and Mera like leading this whole army of fire trolls. Like guys, this is probably my favorite part in the issue. It's just so cool. Now Aquaman says, "I married the queen of the fire trolls. Did not see that coming." Mera says, "Behave yourself, Arthur. Don't forget who rescued you. First we break the siege of Atlantis. Then we free the rest of the seas. And then we find your Frost King." Aquaman shouts, "Wherever you are, Frost King, we're coming for you." Now we go to the heart of the storm, and we see the Frost King. He senses Aquaman, Mera, and all the Justice League. He says, Where are they?" And that's how we conclude Part 4 of Endless Winter. So guys, that was Aquaman number 66, Endless Winter chapter 4, and this issue was written by Andy Lanning and Ron Morris. The artwork was by Miguel Mendonca. Now, the artwork looked amazing throughout, guys. I really like the artwork, and this has actually been an artist that's been on this series for a little bit, and this artist just does such a great job of showing the world of Atlantis, showing Aquaman Mera. This artist also does a great job with, like, the facial expressions, the action sequences, and just the atmosphere of everything. It looks really good. Now, the artist of like the flashback sequence, Marco Sangiusi, has been the same artist in all the flashback sequences throughout this whole events Endless Winter, and he does a great job there, right? I like the flashback sequences. It's cool seeing the Viking Justice League, and yeah, with the art out of the way, which was good throughout, the writing of the issue is actually really strong. This is probably my favorite chapter of Endless Winter yet, because the beginning with the Viking Justice League going up against the Frost King is really awesome, action-packed, and the cliffhanger of like Swamp Thing supposedly being killed is really interesting. Now, the present day storyline with Aquaman, Mera, and Andy is really nice. I really like their family dynamic, because it really feels like this whole Endless Winter events, each issue shows the heroes with like their family, their loved ones, and I like that. That's cool. It's a good theme, but I feel like this issue does it the best. It doesn't feel shoehorned in. It makes sense because Aquaman and Mera just got married and they have a child with them, so the theme makes total sense. And their interactions throughout, Mera's a great character here. Aquaman, as always, really good. He's quickly become one of my favorite characters in like the Justice League and DC Comics. And his actual comics so far, I actually do recommend. We haven't been going over it on the channel. I haven't had time to, but I do recommend you check it out, right? The previous issues and the future issues. But for now, though, this is a great issue, guys. And can I say how awesome it is to see Aquaman Mera leading an army of fire trolls? That's just cool. Like, if you don't like that, then like, do you like anything? Like, come on, that's just dope. Like, that's just so cool. That's one of my favorite moments, and actually, probably one of the best moments I've seen in an Aquaman book. And that's actually saying something, because I do tend to enjoy Aquaman books, right? Mostly from like 2010 onward, yeah. But still, Aquaman has become a really great character, and you should not miss out on this issue. If you've been following the Endless Winter events, and say you've been liking stuff, but you're not really a big fan of the Aquaman book, still check out this issue. Or say you haven't been really liking the Endless Winter events, you think it's kind of just too simple for you, still buy this book and check it out, because the artwork's top-notch and the writing is as well. For me, though, I've just been enjoying it overall. This event has been kind of simple and not as good at times, but I feel like this issue boosted up a little bit. And that's why I'm going to give Aquaman number 66 an 8.5 out of 10. I recommend it. And yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. If you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Endless Winter video. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.